I've got my ball of clay centered and I'm ready to start on my next vase form. Again, I'm going to make one that's a little wider at the bottom, more tapered at the top. So at this point of my centering, what I want to do is when I'm pushing down, push down a little bit more so the whole mass of clay is spread out across the bat a little bit more. As you can see on this centered clay, how short and wide it is, now I'm ready to do my opening. As you can see, I'm really taking my time in getting my bottom of the pot compressed really well. When you have a form that is really wide and a lot of the clay is adhered to the bat, it's even more critical that you get good compression. Because of the way everything dries and the amount of clay that is flat across the bottom. If you don't get it compressed, S-cracks are guaranteed. Now I'm ready to pull my balls up. On the type of form I'm working on, I really have to concentrate and work to bring the walls up in a taper. When it's this wide, if I let it flare out, the walls will get so thin that I won't be able to collar it back down. I can't let it go wide. I don't even want it to go straight up and down. I want it to taper in as I pull my wall. Now that I've got the height I want to go in and I want to kind of push out and start getting the shape in the bottom half. Now I've got it flared out, I want to collar in on this top half. As you can see with my collaring down, I could taper this down and completely close this form and create just like a bubble of clay. I wouldn't want to do that because if I were to fire this with that big air bubble in there, I may have said this during the wedging demonstration, but if there's air in your clay, what happens is when it's being fired, the clay shrinks down and the air expands. The air is not going to give out to the clay. The clay is going to give out to the air. So as that clay is shrinking down, air expanding, the clay will explode. And it's not going to explode and destroy the kiln and destroy everybody else's work within the kiln. All it's going to do is destroy your own pot. And it will just totally disintegrate or a whole half of it could blow off, the whole bottom could blow out. So you don't want to close up any form and leave a big air pocket. And you don't want to leave a lot of air in the clay when you're wedging. So I've got this tapered down. I just want to go in there and do another couple pulls and bring a little bit more height just in the neck of this form. As you can see when it's turning, the rim of this isn't flat. Again, there's a little bit of inconsistency in the centering and the opening. So a little bit of that unevenness worked its way up to the rim, and now the rim is got a high spot in it. And I'm going to cut that off real quick. I'm going to continue collaring in, and then I'll start using the rib to refine the curves. I'm going to use my metal rib. I'm going to come around and really get after it and put some pressure on there to change that outside edge. One of the things that I'll do with my metal rib is where it goes from the flat edge to the curved edge, there's a little bit of a point. And I'll use that against the clay and I'll create what I call a body line. And what I do is with that body line, it gives me a point where I can glaze one color up from the bottom to the body line and glaze another color down from the top. So I get a two-toned glazing on my pot. And you can see as I push in, right here, it created that body line. I'm going to create one more body line at the bottom of the pot. And I'm just going to use the bottom edge instead of the top edge. And now you've seen how using your metal rib, you can really crispen up your curves and make a very well finished, nice looking pot.